Yes, perfect. And I think we are actually live. Welcome, everyone. Hello, how are you today?
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Welcome, everyone who is on time. I really appreciate that.
Oh, wow.
This is
Cool.
salesperson talk.
Okay,
I think,
yeah, Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that for everyone who is joining, feel free to throw in where you're joining us from. Really curious to know where everyone is.
And what is actually, like, for a warm-up question, what is the coolest part that you generated with ChatGPT? Like, really curious about that, because it's amazing what it can do, right? So what is your coolest task or text, whatever copy that you generated with ChatGPT? Put it in chat and we will read it out.
Yeah, I actually hope that, because the topic is AI-powered SDR, really hoping to see some early adopters, maybe of AI power users who's using it for email copy yet, or I don't know, generating quick summaries for things, maybe for, I actually heard a fun use case, which we are not going to talk about today. So I think it's good to mention how you can just do your, put your call transcript, your whole transcript into ChatGPT to generate a quick summary. I know my salespeople, they don't like to put in notes. I have to go after them sometimes, like, hey, what are the notes for this call? So that could be something really easy to use ChatGPT for that.
Alex, our SDRs say that chat is disabled. Like, can you check it out?
I'm sorry about that. Let me see if there's anything that I can do.
Yeah, guys, bear with us. We'll fix it right now. So feel free to put all the questions in chat. We'll be monitoring all the time during this webinar. So yeah, let's use it one window
if I can
for
enable
everything.
this. Everyone, webinar chat. Let me try to type something and let me know if you can see this.
Yeah, I can see that, but it's it feels like it's disabled for attendees.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't really know.
Maybe in more option in the panel.
Panelists, more.
Oh dear.
View participant count. Sorry. If anybody has any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, like guys, just sorry, technical issues, but yeah, probably someone knows where to enable actually chat, because I'm a speaker, I'm not a host. Alex, I think that's your host. But I think, yeah, let's wait minutes, one more minute just to fix this.
I think you guys can go ahead with the agenda and I'll try to work this out, because we do want the chat to be active. We want to see your questions as we go. I mean, the Q&A part is open, and I enabled an option to view the questions and to put in questions and comment on them. So that's already will give some kind of interaction, but let me try to figure out where the chat is.
Yeah, definitely. So while Alex is trying to fix the chats, I will provide a quick overview of this webinar today. So we'll start with kind of the concept of the future, actually, that we are heading up to, and what is the AI-powered SDR, how actually AI already can save tons of time and accelerate sales development and sales. And then we'll do a demo of JSON AI. For those of you who already tried out, for those of you who are Reply users, this is our newest tool, newest release that allows to not just generate emails and sequences, but also respond on prospect emails on the behalf. And this, like we see JSON AI is like your B2B SDR assistant with an amazing future of automating even more of your work. This is an overview. Alex, are we good with the chat or not? I think we can go ahead. Yep. So let's go ahead and give me a second.
Let's start, guys.
Yep. And So let us introduce ourselves. Let's start with Anatol.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Anatol. I'm a peer product at Reply, and like we have a little bit of trivia between the three of us. So I'm kind of work personal life balance ninja because I'm at the same time a peer product and babysitting toddler full time. So I put to sleep mine probably 15 minutes before the webinar. So it's like the upside of remote work. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Anatol. I'm Olivia Milton, CMO at Reply, and cool fact about me is that next week I'm off for my first sabbatical. I will be off for a 3 weeks vacay, and I'm really happy about that. And actually saying hello to everyone who is burned out. So I think you feel my pain, and yeah, like really happy about that. Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and apparently I cannot figure out the way to enable chat in Zoom. The thing is, our marketing person is on vacation who does that, so apologies about that. But yeah, I am a sales leader at Reply by day and a psychology student by night, and sometimes these two kind of interchange. So that's a bit of a fun fact for me. But yeah, I'm very passionate about sales, managing a sales team, being innovative in a sales process. So I'm really happy what we're doing in terms of AI and excited to talk about it today. And I guess we'll have to use the Q&A. Sorry, guys.
There is a link in Q&A how to enable chat, webinar chat. Alex, can you take a look while we'll be presenting the slides?
Okay, guys. So let's set the tone for the conversation, and let's look a little bit about AI evolution and how Reply will together with the tech evolution. So like before 2018-17, most of the AI tools were already available, but tech was not mature enough. Like most cases were handled by like individuals, like models for individual cases. So for example, if you need to like transcribe text or you need some insights, you would train specific model for this. During this time, Reply already has our own model where we categorize all the emails. We do like interested, not interested, forwarded now. So all kind of stuff to make sure that like process streamlined. Our customers can use this to spend time only on like emails and conversation that really matters. But it's still like really spotty. And then the next steps, it's like big language models like GPT starting to pop up, and it's still very early. So like 2018, 2019, 2020, so GPT 1, 2, 3 show up. And we kind of slowly adopted some of the tech. So by 2020, we introduced writing assistants in our sequences. So we were able to use like GPT-3 to create emails from bullets, create some summaries, help with writing, but it is still really like complementary tech. And then, hey, amazing, chat is working. And last November, as probably all of you know, the explosion came. So ChatGPT came out, as we can put it, and then all kind of tools just like skyrocketed into workplace. So everyone started leverage this to create their own tool, try to make their own case with GPT-3, ChatGPT, like recently Bard go out and tons of stuff. We at Reply last November launched AI that can generate the whole sequence based on like your first step, your case. We can like help you with this as well to like streamline process. And this spring, like explosion just like goes to the next level. So pretty much everyone introduced tons of AI tools. And at the same time, it's kind of amazing to see. It's definitely will like skyrocket productivity, but it also tons of challenges, like what to choose, how to help, and so on, so on, so on. So how to navigate all of this. And we at Reply this month, like on March 14th, we introduced JSON AI. This is like AI based on ChatGPT, GPT-4 assistant for BDRs, SDRs. They, as Olivia said, can do tons of cool stuff, and we'll do much more, even cooler stuff going forward. And that's kind of the timeline. So the tech is matured enough, the explosion is here, and everyone tried to figure out how to benefit from this. And today, that's kind of our version, how this can help you guys. Let's move on.
Yep. And yeah, thanks, Anatol. This is definitely a big ban in AI right now. And we have two statements at reply. Number one, want to congratulate all of you guys because sales and SDRs productivity will skyrocket this year. And we definitely believe that. Looking how many tools actually appear that incorporate AI. And number two, this is another statement, and we definitely believe in that AI will not replace people, but people who know AI will replace people who don't. Alex, I think you have a comment on this, right?
I do. We're just discussing it earlier. We actually did our first webinar to talk about ChatGPT and like the overall kind of tendencies, I guess, and how it's changing the sales industry a couple of weeks ago. I'm curious if anyone who is here has seen that recording or who attended that. And this is something that our CEO said. I'm not sure if that's his own phrase or maybe that's like something that he's heard before. But and I really like kind of this idea. First of all, kind of to adopt it as a company, and then like we do think about it first of all, because the product that we develop, market, or sell directly affects SDRs, right? Helps them, but then AI kind of coming in can create like certain, I guess, doubts or fears that it might replace people, right? What if AI writes better emails than I do? Like, do I still have a job? So I do like, and like I guess also as a product for salespeople, we want to kind of not to replace you, but to help you first of all. So that's why we encourage you to master AI, learn how to use it, and learn how to use it effectively.
And yeah, I want to add here, have a few answers in chat how people use ChatGPT, like their examples. Jay said. Philippines and California here currently use ChatGPT to research lead industries that would be interested in our services and create cold emails to reach out to them. And it's definitely, I was so like, I was stumbled, like I was so much impressed, like me as a marketer, that I can do market research just in one window. I don't need to, well, actually like, generally it doesn't contain all the information that I need, but it provides an overview, like one window, one prompt, and you receive an understanding of the market and potential ideas what to research. And there is other case I used from Dave. I used AI to generate a list of potential companies to investigate for my cousin who is job searching. You can generate company size and proximity to location as part of your query. And Jay, thank you for sample inputs into ChatGPT. By the way, we'll be covering prompts in this during this webinar. So yeah, just stay with us, and yeah, we'll definitely cover that, cover it up. So let's proceed here. And I really like this metaphor of AI-powered SDR versus a regular SDR, SDR who's not implemented AI into his working routine. So knowing that AI can actually automate already can automate a lot of areas of sales development and sales, like those AIs for audience suggestion, writing assistance, personalization AIs, replies handling AIs, automated meeting booking AIs, conversational intelligence, and even those ChatGPT plugins that were released, I think this was announced like previous week or something like this, that will allow to set up integration with other tools. So this just looks like this sleigh with a beautiful husky dogs, and compared with a regular SDR who is, well, definitely need help, right? Compared with what is happening right now. Yeah, so Alex, Anatol, anything to add here? Like, I really like this slide. We were thinking about doing another LinkedIn post using this this metaphor. Yeah, and let's proceed.
Yeah, I think what we wanted to quickly, sorry, I was replying to a message in the chat about the recording. Sorry, about the chat issue kind of threw us off the course. We forgot to cover the basics. Yes, we are recording it. You'll get the recording afterwards, so really no worries. Yeah, about this here, I think, yeah, the main point was here, there's so many things that SDRs juggle on a daily basis, right? You have to I think some of the points were already mentioned, like, okay, what is that industry struggling with? Maybe what this particular, I don't know, niche or vertical that maybe this account or these types of accounts that I am assigned that I have to reach out to, what can I find out about them, right? So things like research, knowing the pains, knowing the value of your product as well, booking meetings. Well, creating one email can be really a handful, but then creating a whole sequence, kind of structuring that out, doing cold calls, analyzing those cold calls, handling objections, so many things. And the point is that AI can make your life easier and kind of take the burden off in so many of them. Yes, it will require time to like fully master it. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect from the beginning, but kind of using it on a regular basis will definitely help. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Okay. Thanks for this. Thanks for input. And as we mentioned, AI tools that were released in the last 3 months. So, well, maybe I think that some of you guys know Vlad Oleksienko. He's a VP of Growth right now at Reply. So he made a great post and published this collection, a list of AI tools and resources that were launched recently. I really like this categorization for these tools, like generative AI tools, you know, those like Jasper or Notion, Copy AI, that can generate any text, any copy for any purpose, like from blog post to social media to SEO text to email. Then we have specific category for email assistants that are tailored and trained to create a perfect sales email. And here I should mention Jason AI and Lavender. Then we have a category for productivity tools that actually can get insights on how to optimize your time spent on some repetitive tasks. It's also here. Then we have extensions that use OpenAI and ChatGPT. We have a business category that, well, I personally love AI-powered presentation generator. I think it was here before Microsoft Copilot was announced, but it's still definitely a good tool to try out. And as for resources, I advise to check out this AI library free catalog of more than 1,000 AI tools. I will be sharing this link to this list right now in chat. Yeah, going back to the slides, let's jump to a Jason AI demo. Alex, mic to you. And I'm stopping sharing.
Yeah, Olivia, some people were asking for you to share the link to the Notion doc.
Doing it right now.
In the chat, please. Yeah, that would help with the tools provided. And as for cold calls, I think Anna, because there was a question in chat regarding how you can use AI and cold calling. And I know cold calling is a scary topic, and that one is always like a hot topic for SDRs, even reps everywhere. Yeah, I think a good point, Anatol, regarding like scripts. I think you can also anticipate certain objections, generate certain scripts about how to handle those objections. My idea was also about analyzing them afterwards, kind of what keywords, I guess, like well-performing reps do, or how you performed on your calls. Like, for example, at Reply, we use this kind of tool mostly to analyze our demos, but that helps a lot to see kind of who spends how much time talking about this certain functionality or other functionality, who asks more questions, what kind of talk ratio is there. I know it's not exactly cold calling, but then the idea is kind of to analyze how your calls go, whether maybe the timing when they are made, how long they are, that kind of stuff. Okay.
And Alex, while you be presenting Jason, there is a question from Ihor. Is Jason a separate tool, or could it only be used within Reply platform? Just cover it within your demo story.
Yes, so let me share my screen quickly. Sure. I hope this works well. Yeah, and first of all, yes, Jason AI is a part of Reply, right? So a core of Reply. I don't know if many of you are familiar, so I'll just quickly maybe once again recap what we are, right? So Reply, in a nutshell, is a sales engagement platform that you as an SDR would use to get your leads. Well, we even have data now, so you can get your leads from Reply. Then you would automate your process, your sequences, your emails on top of that, calling, LinkedIn, and then analyze, like manage your team as well or within your account, and then of course analyze everything that you do, how well your emails, LinkedIn, calls, how all of that performs, how many meetings are booked, right? And then JSON is a part of that, right? There are a lot of areas where JSON helps you, so we'll kind of start step by step. And the UI where I'm at right now, I can't, hold on now, just go like this. I can show you, right? This is where you would kind of start at reply. This is where you would create your sequence, right? Because this is where your outreach would start. And we created this new option that's called from magic. JSON is magic. All right. So what we would do here, right? This is the step where you would generate your first email, where you would start, right? You would start with the prompt to specify, and we have some instructions here for you as well, but what you would do here is you would specify who you're reaching out to, maybe mention like who you are, whether you're an SDR or a business owner. And I have, sorry, once again, like this. And I have an example here that I am reaching out to, I would like to reach out to business development managers and offer them to try reply, so close to home use case. And quickly, just in a couple of words, I'm describing that, reply is a sales engagement solution for teams that will help with outreach automation. That's kind of the basic prompt that I have. I think ideally you want to make it more detailed, but we'll get into that. Let's start with this one. And we will jump into it afterwards. Let's see. The thing is, JSON AI is powered by ChatGPT. So what you will see now, even though we put a prompt here, the editor window where you have your template, this is just a ChatGPT editor. So this is where you would be working afterwards, right? So based on my prompt, this is what JSON was able to identify, that my use case is related to sales. So he put a subject line in there, and we have some kind of template in place. Like, frankly speaking, the copy that you would get, first of all, sometimes it's good, sometimes it can be not so good, and that's okay, because this is not your final point yet, right? There's a number of steps you have to take to improve the email copy that you want to put together, and kind of let me walk you through those steps, right? First of all, you can, so here I would put in the rest of my prompts, how else I want JSON AI to change the email that he was able to generate, but what will I use kind of as a guidance, right? So let me show you the options that we have here as well. So we have a AI-powered scoring card here as well. It shows you the recommendations for your cold emails based on how overall all of the emails on the platform perform, how they get opened, how they get replied to, and decides what kind of replies they generate, whether those replies are interested or not. And based on that, we have kind of the scoring. Based on that, we score the templates that you put together, or that JSON AI generates for you. So first we can see that, okay, our subject line length is okay. It's a bit more, I would maybe make it a bit more specific, but we'll get to that. The word count is okay as well, not too long at this point. It doesn't have a question, but I definitely would introduce one. So we'll add that as a prompt. Reading level is fine, right? So it means that it's clear, easy to understand. It's okay on positivity. And something that I'd like to draw your attention to would be the spam word count. So as you can see, so the scoring card will already show you that words like sales, solution, call, chat, free, trial, all of these words, if you're using them in your template, the scoring card will point them out so that you would know which ones you would need to change. So let me see, do you guys have any ideas that I should put as a prompt here to change this template? Because I didn't have a chance to read it yet. Anatol, do you see anything?
Yeah, let's Kelly just rewrite it. So like, hey, let's write it in more like better style, maybe like more positive tone, maybe also remove like spam words and keep it under like 100 words.
Replace words. So we don't have too many, and I don't think we can replace the word solution. Replace the word
sales call as well, like
because I think like sales engagement we need, so it's gonna keep it.
Yeah.
That's okay for now, or should I run it again?
Yeah, let's try it out.
Okay, just as an idea, right? So you put your prompt here, and then we have a way to kind of make JSON based on that prompt that we provided to make changes to the template. Okay.
I would suggest like tell him to like improve styling, like yeah, so something like that, and maybe let's okay.
The style?
Positivity is good. Maybe a little bit better reading level. Like let's make it like for 9th grader. So the reading level should be like 9th grader, and substitute what we still has like sales and call with like synonyms. Like
the email to make it easily understandable.
Yeah, for like 8th, 9th grader.
Or
so,
9th
because
grader.
the simpler the sales email, the better. So sometimes underlying models, they both like GPT-3, GPT-4 and ChatGPT, they try to be too elaborate. So you want to have like simpler words, simpler sentences, and so on and so on. Okay, so now copy depends on like based on our score, and like this is just a better copy. And then maybe we can like show how we like, okay, so the basic copy kind of here.
Challenge of
Call to
business development maybe. And add a call and make a call to action into a question, right?
Yeah, we can do it.
To action into a question, because I like those. I really don't like when the call to action is not a question, pretty much. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so I guess like the main idea here is for you to keep working with the email. You can keep working with the word count, with the style, things that you like or not. Yeah, okay, this part we can change, but then it did mention business development. Yeah, value prop. And then we have a question here as well.
So at this point, I would probably just like do like a little bit tweaking by hand.
Definitely.
It's still for some reason wants to create like salesy text.
Yeah, the idea here, I think, is that definitely to keep working with it, I would change something like, for example, sales. So would start maybe with a subject line. You can make it a bit shorter. You can also introduce any of your variables in here, because you do want this template to be used in the sequence afterwards. For example, I can put something like a company name here, and then you would also introduce any other variables that you want in the copy. And either change it by hand or keep introducing other prompts, or maybe even sometimes I would say that add in a prompt, like just adding a new prompt here helps. To be honest, creating a good prompt is really an art, and it does take some practice. And I myself often struggle with that. So if you see that, like sometimes what I find is that if I'm not 100% sure what I want to say, my prompt can also translate that, and then the copy that I get is also not a good quality. So if you see that it's just not right, not what you're looking for, just start from the beginning and just regenerate the main prompt here.
I also want to add, so for example, what we find out when we created this, it's like it's really best response. Like the actual idea is you create like the first copy with like generate a mail and like short prompt, and then you fine tune this using like write style, change style, shorten, add words, etc., etc., etc. So that's kind of the basics. But at the same time, it's like it's still underlying GPT and ChatGPT behind this. So you would want to kind of instruct. Yeah. So you want to be like precise. The more precise you prompt, the better results you would get. So for example, if you would say, hey, I'm doing a recruiting sequence, act as a recruiter, or like kind of similar how you would do this on ChatGPT, yeah? And the same with, for example, SDR, like act as SDR at reply.io or at your company, for example, and then set the tone. That's kind of kind of presetting of the prompts, both on top or when you're rewriting, it make it like more like it tries to change style essentially. Yeah. So the more precise the more you want to emulate, for example, someone, let's say, in your role. But if you do not command like strong English, or for example, you want like new ideas, you just ask to generate it and then fine tune it based like using more prompts, or just like manually going less like 10%, make it like great copy.
For example, like this. So I'm just kind of following what you were saying, kind of to make the prompt into more details here. Yeah. Yeah, a few more things. I think that I'm sorry, did you mention the language, Anatol? I was typing and I spaced for a second.
No, I didn't yet, no.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So another thing that you can do here, maybe we'll stop at this point, but another thing that you can do here is actually translate it to any language that you need. Like, for example, in our demo calls, when we talk to different SDR teams, we often hear cases when like certain SDRs are in charge of certain markets, and they would use a language other than English kind of to, I don't know, like, I guess to appeal more to the audience in that market. You do want to sound like somebody from there rather than messaging them in English. So, and you don't always speak the language exactly. So this is something that Jason can help you with as well. 2 ways how that can work. Either if you are already proficient in the language, then you can put your prompt, your original prompt in the language in which you want the email to be generated in. That's number one. Or here you can just put in a prompt to translate the email to, let's say, Spanish. You do that, and then the body of your email based on your prompt will be translated to the language of your choice. So also something to make your life easier, I guess, when you're doing international outreach. Yeah, see, even scoring card caught some of our things here. Perfect. Oh, do we have any questions on this part?
There is a question about CRM integration, but I think we'll cover it later, right?
If Shady will be more precise in his question, I'm happy to really answer this in chat, because like Shady, what you want to know, just put it like more details, like what kind of integration, etc., and I can answer this just in chat. So let's continue.
Perfect. Right, so I'm not very happy with the copy that we have here, to be honest, but just kind of being mindful of the time, we'll move on. Yeah, so this would be the first step that you work through, right, to compose the first email. Based on the business case that Jason identifies here, based on your prompt, the next step, it's going to generate a sequence for you, right? So we are following the steps here. So at this point, Jason is going to give us kind of a draft of a sequence that you can use. And at this point, of course, feel free to change it, edit more steps, and then maybe work with each of the templates individually. And then add additional channels. There's really a lot kind of to do at this step, right? The first thing that I want to point out, right, is the A/B testing, right? When you're doing cold outreach, scaling that, you always want to have multiple variants of your emails kind of to right away start tracking which of them are working, which of them aren't. I think pretty much every sequence I set up, if I have 3 steps, I'm gonna have 2 variants on each step, maybe because I'm indecisive, but also because I like to know, okay, maybe that idea was actually a better one. So let me show you, for example, how you can do it here also easily with AI, with JSON AI. So you can either first clone the first variant that you generated, right? So this is variant A, this is variant B. I have the same exact email. So now what I can do here is maybe rewrite my call to action, maybe connect my calendar for a change to see if that would be easier for people to just schedule a meeting rather than replying to me. Or I can change my, for example, subject line for, I don't know, I'll put it like this. I know it's quite random, but whatever, just as a second option here for you. The whole other thing you can do is, for example, let me just kind of clone this again. Same thing. You'd go in here, because remember, this is your editor. This right here is your ChatGPT editor. So you go in here and you can say, rewrite this email just to make it Okay, once again, not more than 110 words, right? So we just make it shorter and write it in a friendly tone, right? And then Anatole, feel free to let me know if my prompts are not always fine. But here, this is where you would do it. So the option to use ChatGPT is here, just like maybe in a different place, but you can do exactly the same things that we were doing in the previous step, just already working with the sequence or the variants, right? This is the next step. So right now, as we can see, ChatGPT is working. So it is easily creating, right, a second variant for me. I can open scoring card, so it's a bit better. Still a few spammy words that I can work through, but then in any case, now I have 3 variants, and that was quite easy and fast. What else I am thinking about as well? I would say that for now, I think the manner in which your sequence would be generated, it would just kind of list the other things as follow-ups. But as we know in the cold outreach, you do want to, you know, kind of not waste the space of your prospect, not just kind of keep saying 3rd or 4th email in a row, hey, I'm just following up, I'm just following up. You want to keep bringing value. And it's difficult really to introduce that original value in that first email. That's why what I would recommend doing is that you go into each of these steps here, and then you say, hey, kind of add information about, I don't know, maybe specific challenge. You know your audience. You like when you create a sequence originally, you can have 2, 3 challenges in mind. And then, for example, in this step, you want to talk about that particular challenge. And like I said, on the first step, it's not as easy to put it all together into one template, but this is where you would differentiate that and make that follow-up into kind of maybe a different subject. And same would go for this one. Yeah, what else I would suggest doing is, for example, you can add kind of a quick LinkedIn connect request after your email. You can add a message if you want. I like to keep mine blank, to be honest, but that's just a personal thing, not data backed. For example, you can put it on next day or even same day, whichever, really flexible on the timing. Yeah, but then you can craft this, add more steps, and then add more of the customized things. But then you don't have to do that manually. Just put in the prompt, and then the JSON will generate that for you. I think another fun fact, let me quickly show you, kind of come back here to the editor, because this is, once again, you can use the editor for multiple purposes. For example, you want to start a second thread. It would be the same topic. It would still be sales engagement, but you want to start a different thread. So you can use this to brainstorm ideas, generate, I don't know, 5 subject lines, right? So my point is, right, on the topic for the cold email, right? For the cold email on sales engagement. 5 subject lines for the cold email on sales engagement, or like offering sales engagement, right? So same exact kind of steps that you would take, improve the ChatGPT. And as we can see, this is working, and it will generate them for you. Yeah, they can be a bit salesy or marketing wise, but you can keep, once again, same thing, giving the prompts here, shorten them to not more than 4 words, and then tweak them accordingly. So yeah, just use for it whatever you want. Maybe you're looking for a call to action. So whatever ideas you want to generate, you can do this here. So you can do everything in one place. Okay, do we have any questions here?
Well, I think Anatole is answering questions in chat.
Yeah, I'm busy doing this stuff. So.
Yeah. So let's proceed with the responses on prospect emails.
Perfect, because I don't have an option. I don't have a way right now to look at the chat. So thank you for taking care of that, guys. Right, so the next step here would be to look at your, to generate, no, wait, hold on, sorry, next step here. Anatole, you want to do the preview here?
Yeah, let's do it. So let me share the screen, and then I answer another question in chat.
Okay.
Please enable me screen share. Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing like this. Yeah, so kind of to explain what's happening now, right, is the next step in your sequence. You would put in the leads into the sequence, and this is how you can do this. We'll be able to do this.
Yeah, so in the last update, or in the next update, so on April 10, we roll out this stuff. So this stuff is pretty much, we combine our proprietary database for prospects, accounts to target people and kind of JSON AI and all of this like sequence creating experience. So at step 3, you would have number of options. As Alex showed you, you can do like the usual stuff you usually can do. You can add people from CSV, you can edit from your existing database, you can create them, but the cool stuff, it's ability to pretty much look for the audience of here. So we have a database of pretty much 120 million contacts together with accounts. They're mostly US based, so mostly targeting that. So it's US and UK based, I would say this. We constantly like improving this, but the cool stuff, when you create sequence, when you already created your like goal, your prompt, you have your steps, you do not then want to get back, look for contacts elsewhere. You can do it right on the spot. So for example, what I have here, so in the next months, we'll have like Reply AI Summit. And so let's imagine I'm just creating sequence for this. And there's again, like I have one subject, like I have some steps pre-generated. As you can see, there is like combination of steps generated by AI, like they both email, calls, social, kind of mix what would work, what AI thinks would work for inviting people to the summit. And then I just go to the next step and there is proprietary database. So I can look and invite different type of, for example, people to attend. Or if I do like outreach and I'm targeting, let's say I'm selling customer like quality data platform or CDP or something, I would target operations. If I sell something to product managers, I would target like my role with their products and so on, so on, so on. So I can do it right here. So for this case, for example, I decided to go after information technology and services. I want to go after, for example, inviting marketing managers because we want to expand AI use and reply use through marketers, because marketers, especially in tech business, they become more and more involved with all GTM stuff that would need like personalized email communication, personalized social communication, and so on, so on. So for example, based on this, I get a list like of almost 600 marketing managers, as you see, most of them in US. And then I can just go, for example, okay, so I want to get Leslie, and let's say I want to get Lydia. So all I have to do is to select them. I can select the whole page if I want. That's kind of the similar how our data page works. Then I just do reveal details. Let's take a look at them. Okay, so we figure out we have mails for both Leslie and Lilia, and then I would just move them to the sequence. So this reply AI summit sequence I currently like crafting, and then I move to contact list and Lilia and Leslie and a couple of others who were there previously already here. So it's all done. It's like it took me a minute talking to you, but I can like pretty much did it in 15 seconds. So that's the power when you start to integrate stuff in one place. The user experience became like really, like you can do stuff very quickly that you would spend days doing in like multiple tools. That's this slide about sledges and like
and husky dogs, right?
Yeah, and husky dogs.
Yeah, well, it's
became kind of like how you translate this to a real day-to-day work. Because when you took all of these pieces of tech and combined it together in one experience, it's really like elevate your productivity. You can see it, like how it saved hours, like right at the spot. So that's kind of what we're doing at the next step. So
yeah, that's reply concept.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we do. Olivia?
Alex, Mike, back to you. So let's proceed with the with all other cool stuff about JSON. Alex, you are in mute, and while you're unmuting Anatol, there is another question in chat. Please take a look. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that my UI is not updated yet, so I still have the old options. But yeah, the 3 options are available to you. Source them right from the database, or if you have existing contacts, you can also enroll them here. And yeah, moving on to the quite exciting stuff, right? I know that like composing, tweaking emails is cool, but it's nothing new. So the nice and then exciting stuff that I would say JSON AI is able to do. So here at the settings of your sequence, right, we're kind of moving towards the end. We are configuring where we are sending the, we're going to be sending our emails from, what our limits, blah, 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 all of that. But what is important here is that maybe for some of your sequences, you do not want to handle those replies yourself, but you want to hand them off to JSON. And this is what JSON can actually do for you. Let me actually move here just 1 second. Zoom thing. Yes, so I actually have this already prepared or in my other sequence. Yeah, the fun fact is that JSON can create replies for you, not only email copy and sequences, but also replies to the emails that you receive. Yeah, particularly replies to your outreach sequences. And kind of to help JSON to create those replies kind of very specific and actually of high quality, you do need to provide some context for JSON, and I already did that. Like, first of all, I want to say that JSON, even if you don't put this here, JSON is already trained to provide proper, I don't know, like concise, but sales-related replies, right? So that would be already fine. But if you want to make your replies a bit more specific that would apply to your particular offer that you send them in this particular sequence, I would encourage you to add this context here. And what I did is I just added information about reply, what we do in general, what are the kind of the key functionality, what we help with, what is the kind of the top feature, right? That's why I talked about JSON AI here. What is like the top feature you want to highlight? Maybe something that you just recently released. Hey, we just recently added data, for example. That would have been another point that I could have put here. Yeah, so I provide some context. And then a few more things, right? Because a lot of our cold emails, they do have a call to action to schedule a call, kind of to keep talking, right? And for those sequences where it's relevant, you can also already kind of let JSON know what scheduler you want to use, or whether that's like a native reply one or kind of a different scheduler you can put in a link here, or you can use none. That's fine as well if you just want a kind of a conversation rather than a meeting. So what happens afterwards, right? So once the JSON tracks the reply that you receive and composes a reply to that reply, what it can do, right? There is an option to save that as a draft. This will allow you to go in and then look at those drafts and then send them yourself. Another option is to send them automatically. But no needs to worry here, right? I mean, I can see chat, but I can anticipate questions like, oh, but I don't want JSON to send random stuff. As we saw earlier, sometimes the sequence copy is not perfect, right? So this can happen with the replies as well. This is new tech, so it requires some time for it to be trained to reply properly. That's why we do have kind of a safety net. We have a team of proofreaders who, for now, are keeping an eye on these replies, kind of to keep training JSON and to make sure that your reputation is intact, no worries, no random stuff will be saved. So what this means is that even the option to send automatically, it means that the human looked at it before it was sent. So for now, this is the case. I don't know, Anatol, if we have any plans to change that later.
I'm sorry, Alex, been busy answering questions. Like, can you ask again?
Cool. Yeah, about the proofreading part. Do we have plans to change that at some point?
Yes, about proofreading part. So what we're doing with proofreading, we kind of, because it's early tech and like it's kind of already has a wide adoption across different, like there's a ton of tools, but there's still some risks. So there could be cases like maybe with violence, etc., etc., etc. So no tech is perfect, and we kind of don't want that. We want to be safe. So one of the reasons we probably will keep for an extended period of time proofreaders is just for our customers to be on the safe side. Once, for example, tech will improve to the point where like errors extremely rare, we can like downsize the proofreading team. But for now, we're looking to keep them in place to make sure that our customers like kind of safe in any cases. So there will be no answers like extremely out of context, no error generation, something like that. So we kind of value safety more than speed in this case, because it's still not as mature as you would expect, because like literally it's like 4 months of adoption. For any B2B tech, you want much more it to be kind of foolproof.
Yeah, and like, thank you for providing that insight, Anatol. And yeah, what I was kind of already open here is to show you how these drafts show up in your inbox, right? Which ones you want to attend to first. So for example, the ones that are marked in green, it means that they were already proofread. So you can see your whole thread here. So this was a sequence. I already can see kind of the categorization of the reply that I received. This is my original test email, so disregard the variable there. This was the reply to that email, and this was the draft that was already proofread. So yeah, really at this point, you can change it here. You can send it directly from here. My option was to save it as a draft. That's why it hasn't been sent yet, so I could kind of showcase this to you. Yeah, the orange ones, they just mean that they haven't been looked at yet. So if you want to, you can look at them yourselves, or just kind of give it another half an hour maybe, and the team will get to them for you. Okay, yeah, so that was kind of my big boom of the day to show you exactly how JSON AI can really kind of streamline the process from getting first from the idea of what you want to talk to a prospect about, to generating the first copy, to generating a sequence, to handling the replies to the sequence afterwards, kind of really simplifying that process. And really excited to hear what we have next in JSON AI. So making sure we have the time for that, Anatol.
Give me a second. And before we go to the what's next, you can scan this QR code, and I put the link or a link to the chat to book a personal demo of Reply JSON AI Assistant. And we also have it available on a free trial. So you actually, and I also put this link to the chat, you can start your free trial 40 days and use JSON AI, all this AI magic and generation of text, email copy and sequence, and responses to prospect emails on your behalf, and reply data, all available for you for 14 days on a trial period. And basically my last remark here, like after Alex did her demo part, is that finally Reply proved its name. So Reply is actually about replying on prospect emails on your behalf. And we are going to excel on this point. And yeah. Oh, Alex, there is another part for the prompts. Do you want to go through it? Because we're kind of short of time before the...
I would skip it. I think what's important. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Anatol, then Mike, to you about the what next part.
Yeah, so again, guys, thanks for attending, listen to us. So what we do next, and there was tons of spoilers in chat. So people ask about, can you do personalization? Yes, we work on personalization at scale, because we already, as you can see, integrating data in this experience and launch it on April 10. Yeah, Olivia, can you get back, please? Thank you. The next, after that, we will work on personalization. So essentially how it would work, like, because we're doing like mass outreach, there is tools on the market who can personalize you, like each email, you look at the code, etc. We're doing it a little bit different. So there will be just a stage when we add context information for each contact, and when copy for each particular contact from the template will be generated, the parts of it will be like automatically rewritten with more context personalized information. That's kind of the idea behind it. The next one, it's ability to train on customer data. So that's the next one we will look at. And the idea here, it's look on your history of emails, load it in a model, kind of fine-tune it for a specific customer, for a specific account, and that way kind of mimic style, get more precise answers, because from the previous answers we can understood, for example, if you're like what you're pricing or what your typical answer to give you more product information, etc. So right now you still can do this, but you need to put this like context information in a sequence, as Alex showed you. Later on, you would kind of not need to do this. We'll kind of pick up on this automatically. But this is kind of a little bit longer to do because it would train kind of fine-tune for each customer. So this is a slower process. And one of the next steps after that, we would, so right now, Jason can answer you pretty much any reply that would go into your inbox in reply. And these usually are answers to your sequences, to your outreach. Later on, and there is probably like 30 to 50 cases what it could be. So ask about information, ask about pricing, I want to book a meeting, not now, like I'm not the right person, all kind of cases. But later on, we expand this number of cases to your, like to your whole inbox communication. So we will be able to answer even questions that, for example, not related directly to the sequences, that could also be related, and provide ability for you to like generate maybe leads, maybe demos. So you will be just able to connect your mail account like you do right now, and we just look into your inbox, like in Gmail or Outlook or whatever, pick up your mail, categorize it, and then answer, even if it's not initiated from reply pretty much. So that's kind of the next steps that we envision right now for Jason.
I think while we have some time, we can answer questions in chat, like for everyone. Like I can read those questions and probably answer. Please respond to them. So Pablo is asking, will we be able to link it to our calendar so Jason can propose a free slot in our calendar when it writes reply draft?
Yes, so you can do it right now. Alex showed you this option, so you can add when you set up Jason in a sequence, you either do not set up meeting book, or you use reply, or you provide your link. Once you provide your Calendly, what would happen, Jason will look into your Calendly and either send this link on a request to go and book a meeting, or for example, if there is some conflict, pretty much our proofreaders on the backend can like reschedule something. So that's how it works right now. So yes, you can do it. Like essentially, like use trial, put your Calendly and try it out. Okay, next question.
Yeah, there is another long question with example. Can we use Jason AI to proofread our emails and do the quality control before they go out? Example, oftentimes I will use the company name as a variable in email copy, but the company name will have bad capitalization, include legal suffix or other formatting errors that will send red flag to the reader. So can Jason AI act as a last line to defense to prevent contact data inputs or formatting errors from impacting reply rates?
Okay, thank you for the question. As of right now, no. So like we didn't try this case. So the situation is technically it's possible because you can ask like capitalize based on something, etc. And it even can do kind of decent job if underlying model of ChatGPT or GPT-4 will do a decent job, but it's not designed to do this automatically, for example. So this is not doing this on the background. That's a cool idea, but right now it's not doing this.
Okay, and there is another question from Luca. If Jason can reply to emails, do you see this technology replacing a human SDR? If not, how do you see an SDR working with Jason?
Okay, this is actually a very cool question. So with reply, see this like that. So kind of we feel the productivity of SDRs will skyrocket this year, the ones who kind of master the stack, and will keep rocking up and up. So everything in terms of replying emails that is repeatable will be handled by AI. It makes no sense to answer every single day in the same question, like what is your pricing? Can you give me more information about like product, etc. This is repeatable stuff. What is not repeatable is going about like cool outreach strategies. What is not repeatable, it's at least not right now. It's going to the real call, and for example, doing qualification on a call. What is not repeatable is to understand how to work with this AI, so your productivity, essentially your team, can skyrocket. So what we feel is SDRs had to become more tech savvy and understood how to work with these new tools. We on our side what we're trying to do, we try to iterate quite fast. First, to introduce these tools to the market, and also like to leverage what others do, like OpenAI or Google, and also to try to combine this in a user experience that's actually doable and easy to use for SDRs, instead of using like 10 different tools or jumping between windows. So we kind of try to merge this in really simple to use experience of both SDRs and AI together to ramp up your productivity. That's kind of what we do.
Thanks, Anatol. Yeah, so it's time to wrap up.
There is one last question from Jay.
Oh, sorry.
Can AI help us with our mail not letting spam? Jay, to be honest, like except like doing with something with like less spammy words and so on, not right now. So for this, we had a different set of tools. We have our partners at MailToaster who do warm up, keep like reputation of your domain, of your email inboxes, etc., etc. So we have a number of tools or partners who can help with that, but not just in the AI right now. We kind of try to make this a little bit in a different direction. Does JSON AI have a word limit? Yeah, that's a good question. So current version JSON AI would took like 1,000 symbols for context, but I'm pretty sure by May we'll upgrade this probably like 5 or 10 times, so limit can be like 10K. So the idea is you would have to be able to provide context and to generate answers to emails, you would pretty much need to grab, let's say, 5 to 15 pages of information about your business, your particular case sequence, maybe more information about product you sell, your differentiation with the competition, etc., etc., etc. And you use the context, and we will make sure so there will be enough space so you can put kind of all of that. And this will be enough for JSON to generate really concise like drafts of the answers for like 80–90% of the cases. There always will be this 10–15% of the cases that like it would not generate good without human, but we're not going for full automation here. We're going essentially for like ramping up productivity.
Well, another question, can JSON AI help us with our email not landing in spam junk folder of prospects?
I want to answer this as well. So
okay,
like it's still like for JSON AI, it's still early. We're not focusing it on like avoiding, because to be honest, this is another webinar topic like multi-vulnerability and so on, so on, so on. So not at this point, sorry guys.
Yeah, and already it was mentioned that yes, you are able right now to link JSON to your Calendly, so JSON can propose a free time slot in your calendar. So this is already available. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for your time and all your beautiful questions. Definitely a lot of insights for us, and your feedback. That's amazing. You know, when you're building a tech, it's so important to get a timely feedback on what is happening and what to build next. So thank you so much. As we already mentioned, we will be sharing the recording of this webinar and the slides in the follow-up emails. And I'll personally make sure that you'll have both recording and the slides. Yeah, thank you.
Can I just one quick comment? If
Sure.
anything got unanswered or you have a comment or feedback, just pin us on LinkedIn. Personally, for sure, I'll be happy to chat.
Definitely. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.